Hello, I am Dani Louise Smith, and you are joining me today with guest Hannah Strange. So, if you've not come across me before, as a reminder, I'm a business consultant and I work with service based businesses. And my big thing is about helping you to create sustainability, a successful business, even when life is unpredictable. So, no matter what's going on, it's about making sure that you are able to build your business in your way and succeed regardless of any external circumstances. And actually, this ties in nicely to today's topic, which is how inaccessible holistic wellbeing is due to cost, knowledge, and not being readily available from trusted resources. It's a topic that I'm really passionate about, actually, so it's going to be so interesting to talk about. And I'll share my thoughts and opinions on this. But before we get into the topic, I would love to introduce Hannah Strange, who I'm excited to be working with as part of Innovation Celebration 2026, which if you don't know what that is, it is an event that I'm hosting on the November the 20th here in Leeds. And Hannah Strange is going to be exhibiting there, and you're going to be able to meet her there, see some of the products that she has, which she will tell you about, I'm sure. But it's an exciting collaboration, and there's also many amazing speakers, workshops and things happening that I can't wait for people to experience. So do check it out. There will be links to Innovation Celebration, everything Hannah does, and of course myself in the description, show notes, whatever you want to call that. But let's begin hearing from you, Hannah. Tell everybody who's listening who you are, what you do, and why you do it as well, because that's the important bit, isn't it?
It is. So I am Hannah Strange, and I am the founder of The Strange Apothecary. The Strange Apothecary is a 16 times award-winning holistic health, beauty and spiritual brand. And we specialise in taking ancient wisdom and blending it with modern science. Off the back of The Strange Apothecary, which is now a 7-year-old business, just at the end of 2025, we decided to set up a community interest business as well. And that is the Strange Apothecary Foundation. And the reason that we decided to set that up was because we have so many people come to us that would really, really love to use our products and go down the natural route and use supplements rather than the pharmaceuticals, but they just can't afford it because their £9 or even free prescription is so much cheaper than their bill would be to get their monthly supplements to cover the same things that they would need to do. So the foundation's really about making holistic well-being as accessible as picking up a prescription from the chemist. Like, it's either down to finances or it's down to lack of knowledge that people don't go down that route. And then you have a lot of people say, I'm going to go and speak to my doctor about this, which, completely understandable. And I do absolutely believe there is a place for pharmaceuticals in the world. But there's also a lot of missed stuff when it comes to the natural side of it as well, because the medical industry aren't trained on the natural side of it. So you get a lot of people go to their doctor and say, I want to use this supplement. Can you tell me about it? And they can't tell you anything about it because they don't know about it because they've not been trained on that stuff. And that's like a whole other topic of how the medical industry and the medical schools and stuff are trained and how it links into the oil industry and all of that. And I'm not going to go into that today because we could be here all day talking about that topic and how corrupt it actually is. But that's our mission behind the foundation, is to arm people with knowledge, to help them pay for their supplements over their prescriptions. And we're also building a list of practitioners. We call it our practitioner directory. And that is a bunch of practitioners from all over the country that are willing to work with people either pro bono or reduced rates so that they can access the holistic healing wellness side of the industry, because holistic wellness covers so many topics. Like, even a chiropractor comes under holistic wellness, and like my partner, he suffers with quite extreme migraines, but since he's been seeing a chiropractor, they've been really, really minimal. And
And I
it
love that you
is.
mentioned it because My husband's pain is actually terrible today on the day of recording this, because we went out to the seaside yesterday, and just that day of like driving and walking about like really impacts him. And I
Yeah.
actually said to him 2 days ago, because he's spoke to the doctor and like, look, my pain, the medication's not working, blah blah. And I went, you fancy trying some holistic? Like, can you go and suggest to them like if you can have some holistic pain relief, because they haven't tried. We've tried acupuncture, we've paid for it. So they haven't tried acupuncture. There's things like chiropractors, and I says osteopaths. That's a bit different in it as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are like, there's so many more than things than that you can try, and if you have it regularly, consistently, I believe that's the route we can go down.
Yeah.
And this is, I just want to drop in as well. This is why I chose you, because one of the topics for Innovation Celebration is making change, and right from the off we can see that what you're doing and the mission with the foundation, like, that is about making change, and it's something that I want to do. I want to make change with the people that I work with, and there's definitely a direct link between the people I want to help and you. It's just the difference is I help them with the business to grow.
Yeah.
But let's face it, if they're in pain every day, if they have these extra challenges, they're not going to be able to do much with the business without someone like you who can give them what they need.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our clients are business owners, because the minute that their health gets knocked, their business takes a knock too. So a lot of our clients are business owners that are just trying to keep themselves in tip-top health to minimize them getting ill or being run down, or like burnout as well. Like, a massive part of what we do is nervous system regulation as well. And like, before it was a massive buzzword topic that everyone uses, but it's a massive part of what we do, just by regulating the nervous system and creating that stable environment inside the body, because that affects your health so much too. And especially when you have chronic illnesses and things too. Like, I have chronic illnesses myself, so I completely get it. And also, I'm neurodivergent. I have neurodivergent children. My partner's neurodivergent. Like, we have a right mix going on in the house, so we see it from, like, we see it from all different angles, and we've got that personal understanding around it as well. But yeah, since Dean's been going to see the chiropractor, he goes once a month. And he's barely had migraines. He's had like the blurry vision, but not had the pain that comes alongside it. Like, that was as far as it went. And it was just a couple days, like through 1 week, where he just like kept getting blurry vision, and he would just go to bed, just go and rest, just go to bed, and it never actually turned into anything. And it was actually my dad that suggested that he went to see a chiropractor, because his partner had been to see one after getting migraines, and it turned out that it was all down to an old shoulder injury. And yeah, Dean got shoulder injuries from being a BMXer when he was a kid. Like, it's that old. So yeah, that's how he ended up there. But it's incredible to see the change in him, and it was so deliberate. He's quite a practical person. He's an engineer by trade, so like, he'll be out like doing things like on the car, or like pottering around and like doing DIY and stuff in the house, and just like the pressure of like going up and down loads would then cause him a migraine, and like, he couldn't just do the things that he wanted to do. So being able to access that, and for us having the funds to go and pay for him to see a chiropractor, and also the knowledge of knowing that that is an option, has completely changed his life.
Is this what inspired you to set it up then? Was it like the family dynamic? Because I think often a lot of us that are running a business, or something like the foundation that you've founded, something like that usually derives from our own lived experience, doesn't it? And I know that my passion to help the people I help is definitely from that, and most people are. And is that what happened for you then? Like,
it was definitely part of it, but like, so I have a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and do you? So you know all about it. And the easiest way to describe it to someone that doesn't know what it is, it's like hypermobility on steroids, right? Like, that's the easiest way to describe it. But it's all to do with like your connective tissues and your joints and everything. And I got that diagnosis a few years ago, but there's no help with it. I just kind of got like, this is your diagnosis, off you go. See you later. So I've had to manage that myself in a holistic
Yeah.
way with no support from medical professionals. I actually got discharged. Like I have a lifelong condition that's only going to get worse as I get older, and I was discharged and left to get on with it.
It's
Um,
frustrating, isn't it? And this is part of like why I get frustrated in terms of how inaccessible. I've been dying to say this. So, like, my husband has EDS, and like he got diagnosed with hypermobility first, and then I did my research and I was like, I think this is what you've actually got. All the while
yeah,
not knowing that I have it and that I have ADHD too, and a lot of people who are neurodivergent have it, don't they?
yeah,
Um, I've never suffered. Like I'll say that. Like I have never suffered. Um, that has now changed. But let's go back to him. So basically, for my oldest is 12 now. So this all kind of started taking a turning point when he was born. So about 11 years ago. But he had like surgeries back when he was 15. So really, it started then. And
yeah.
he's 36 now. So 21 years. And basically it got worse and worse and worse, and he's had, we've lost count, I think around 13 surgeries. But
Wow.
the real reason is because he doesn't just have EDS, which obviously can cause dislocations, pain, fatigue, sometimes bowel conditions. Like there's a whole list of things, isn't there? Because of the
Crazy.
connective tissue issues.
Yeah.
And so surgery wasn't repairing because of that. But we learned that he also has um, a rare knee deformity, which means basically there's 3 people, I think, in the world or in the UK. I can't remember the
Wow.
stat. So he's one of 3 basically that has this, and they've done surgery, which has helped a little bit. But obviously, his left knee, his shoulder dislocated this week, and so like more joints, which tends to happen with EDS, doesn't it? Have
Mm-hmm.
started flaring up and causing pain, dislocations, falls, leads to so many other things. And throughout this whole journey in that time, it's pretty much been surgery, physio, medication, which is great because I'm not going to say that none of that has helped at all. But the weird thing for him is he actually has a lot of muscle. So in this type of condition, and there's different variations of this for different conditions, they go,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do. So his version was, you need to go build muscle, we'll send you to physio so you can do the right exercises. But his body has actually too much muscle and so much muscle, it's like he holds on to it. And I actually
Yeah.
think I'm similar because I've only just recently started exercising again, but I'm like, the muscle's still there. Like, what's going on here? And so he ended up being discharged because they can't help him. And what
Yeah.
frustrates me is when you go to the doctor, it's medication. Like, we'll try this med, we'll try that med. But over a period of time, they then become ineffective. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying we don't want to use meds because I definitely believe in using them where needed. I've used them obviously myself, and I do. And I'm on medication, but I think it's better to treat it holistically.
Yeah.
Like, in how, in our, there's different things that our environment, the things we put in our body, the movement we do, many, many, many things. But yeah, it massively infuriates me because I now am finding I'm on the start of my journey with it. So like I say, it never affected me. I found out about 3 years ago. I started doing Zumba and yoga, and at the yoga session, you know, like you have to tell them your health things and stuff. And I told them
Yeah.
about feet because I get recurring sprains, and it was the yoga teacher that actually looked at me and went, "Oh, you've got fallen arches." So after speaking to people about what she said, they was like, "Oh, you've got," I can't say it, so I call it PF. So I went to like plantar, whatever you call it. Went to the doctor, got a referral to physio, which wasn't helpful. I got given a few exercises, and I did stay on the system. But if you wanted to go back, we'll do more physio and then discharged. I just got
Yeah.
discharged. Which didn't really give me like armed with anything, and obviously recommend to take medication when in pain. But I kind of figured it out by listening to my body, did my research and things, and I still struggle with it, but not as much now as I did with my feet. However,
Mm-hmm.
that was a few years ago. Fast forward to now, I have just accepted that I'm hypermobile. When I was a kid, I was known as being flexible, and I've recently learned if you're one of those double jointed children, you're likely
Yeah.
actually hypermobile. And I have started, I was sat working a few months ago on my laptop, and my hand didn't even move, which is just insane. This hand did. I went to pick up my phone, but my left hand I was doing nothing with it. It was just there, like just existing. And all of a sudden, my thumb just dislocated, and I was like, "Oh, that's new. That's never happened before." And so people was like, "Oh my god, I would have freaked out." I said, "Well, I deal with dislocations pretty much every day because I've seen it happen to my husband that much." I just went and popped it back in, but then that did cause me pain. And the next day, like the pain in my hand was just really uncomfortable. I think I dealt with it quite well. Like, I didn't take any medication for it, but it was just there all the time, uncomfortable. And what's happened since is actually I've started having pains in my wrists and in my hands, like right up into my fingers, pretty much on a daily basis. It started very little and it's built up and up and up. And it's now causing me issues with like work, because obviously I use my hands to type on my laptop, to type on my phone. I'm creative as well, so I'm always using my hands for my crafts and stuff. So that has become a problem that I'm now dealing with. But what happens is like, you go see a doctor and it's I feel it's like always pain relief medication, but we need to like look at the cause of the problem. I do know the cause of the problem. I actually went to podiatry and they referred me to, I can't remember what it's called, but basically because of my joints, and she looked at my body and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can see that," and they can see straight away when they know about hypermobility and the variations of them, such as HEDS. But yeah, I am on that journey now. But like, it's absolutely like, when things affect people every single day, medication's not the one. We need something different that's not just, because let's face it, when you put something in your body like that every day, that can cause then more symptoms, can't it, as well?
Yeah. You know, and I find the mainstream medical industry is very much like, oh, we'll just mask it, like we'll stick a band-aid on it so you can like kind of get on with it. But actually, we won't look at the root cause of the problem. We won't try and like treat the root cause of anything, but we'll slap this band-aid on it, and you're probably going to get side effects from this as well. So then we're going to give you even more medication to overcome those side effects, and you just get stuck in this vicious cycle. And like, a lot of the people that come to us in the Strange Apothecary are chronically ill. You know, a lot of them are chronically ill. And this is what we were finding a lot of as well. And then a lot of them have then started using different supplements and stuff from us. Obviously, we never say like, stop using this medication. We're always going like, you need to go back to your GP if that's something that you want to reduce and come off of. Like, we're not in a position to guide you in that way, because again, you have to be really, really careful when you're a health business about giving health advice, because you can get shut down like within an instant, landed with a massive fine, and even sometimes imprisonment because of the MHRA and how it all works. So we have to be really, really, really careful. We do have holistic consultations where we'll talk about what our products can do and what they could potentially use that would give the same benefits as their prescription medication. But we're always very, very clear that they need to go back to the GP, have tests, make sure that they can actually reduce those prescription meds alongside the support of the GP, not just with us. And most of the time, the GPs are really, really supportive. And I think a lot of them are waking up now to see like...
I don't think the GPs... In fact, when I talk, I think it sounds like I'm blaming the GPs, and I don't think it's their fault at all.
It's really not.
It's the way they've been trained, based on the way that the whole ecosystem works within like the NHS, and how everything's been set up in the world that we live in, and it's not their fault in particular.
No, I mean, they go into the job wanting to help people, right? And then they think they're doing a great thing and going into a great industry, and then they just end up only being trained on one type of health and wellness. So like literally this week I've been in to see the GP with my son. He has a rare genetic condition that only like 150 people in the world have. It's called STAG1 gene variant, and this gene is responsible for turning different things on and off inside the body through development. So he's 10 this year, but really, like, academically he's a toddler. You know, he can like just about count to 20, and he can write his name and like mummy and daddy, like that's pretty much it. But like he's still a typical 10-year-old boy, like the way he acts and things, but like academically he's really, really behind. So we went in just to catch them up on a few things, talk about different things that are going on for him right now, and if there's anything extra that they can support us in. And the topic of medication came up because he's still incontinent at night time, and obviously being 10 this year, like that's quite old to still be having those problems. And even she was like, no, we're not going to go down that route right now. We're going to try and manage it in a holistic way. And that's our last resort. And I didn't say anything about like what I did, my background in wellness or anything like that. Like it did not come up in conversation at all. And it was really refreshing to have her be like, this is the route we're going to try first. Yeah. Because like he's not on any medication for anything. So let's try and keep it that way, you know, like there's no reason to pump this kid.
I agree, I think they are waking up, aren't they? Like I'm just thinking of my most recent GP visit. Like when I went, she said, right, the NHS actually have a process, so they don't just want to refer you straight away, they want to naturally reduce it, she said. And I was like, oh, okay. So, and I mean there's always the obvious ones like reduce caffeine, make sure you're getting enough sleep, blah blah blah. But like, I think she did say to me, which I loved, don't reduce caffeine so much that you're not enjoying life. And I was like, oh, she's just brilliant. And I really enjoyed the 10 minutes that I had with her, because she did the important thing, which so it was breast related. So she checked my breasts to basically say, yeah, that looks all healthy and good, which is I think the biggest thing for anyone in that kind of situation. And then she actually suggested a supplement, which I had been talking to friends about and looking at anyway, but because I've never took a hormone related supplement, I was unsure. And I have done that, and a month in I've actually started seeing results. So imagine if I'd have instead gone and took, I mean I did get prescribed what's it called, ibuprofen gel, but my mind was straight away like, now I'm going to see what I can do naturally before I use anything like that. But I was not given any medication, just that. And so imagine if I just went for medication for pain relief. And that's actually just like you said, putting a plaster over it, because we're ignoring why this pain is happening and what I can do for my body to improve. Like, I was going to say quality of life, because actually it must be getting ridiculous with what I was suffering. And I find that happens a lot with conditions, and then for women with hormones, for perimenopause, menopause and beyond.
It's crazy. You know, male pattern baldness has been studied more than the female hormones.
It's insane. So you mentioned as well, like part of the topic was like readily available from trusted resources. So what would you say your advice is to someone who's listening and maybe is in pain? I know there's a lot of people in my network that listen to, like, follow what I do and stuff, and I attract people that are usually neurodivergent, which usually comes with some form of disability, unfortunately. We are so lucky as people. And then, you know, they might have pain, chronic pain, or things. It's not even pain, sometimes it's skin related and just issues. What would your advice be to them if they want to go down the holistic route and they want to find trusted resources? Because I think that's an important thing you've talked about, is sometimes the people that we trust for the help, we don't get the help we want, and if we don't know what we don't know, we can't end up on the right route. So what would be your advice for anyone in that position?
First of all, we do free holistic consultations via our website. So, you know, come and do one of them. How it works is you pop it in your basket, you check it out for free, and then you're sent a link to a Google form. And we'll ask you, like, what you've tried already, what you're trying to, like, overcome, any allergies, any sensitivities, and, like, what you're open to doing. We don't only recommend off the back of our products. Like, yesterday, for example, I had someone come to me that said that they are suffering with chronic constipation. And I was like, you need to use castor oil packs, you know, like the little like wheaty bags that you put in the microwave. Get one of those, pop it in the microwave, then cover it in castor oil and pop it on your abdomen. And like, I've had clients that have relieved chronic constipation through this, and like, that's not a product we sell, you know, we don't sell. So it's not only stuff like, oh, we can make money from you by selling you this product. Like, we'll give you all kinds of different recommendations from our knowledge. And then on top of that, like, just have a look around in your local community as well, because there will be holistic practitioners around. You just have to find them. So like look for herbalists. You know, they have an absolutely abundance of knowledge, and they can do things inside the body, outside the body. Homeopathic remedies as well. There's people that do online consultations that focus literally on the homeopathic side. I mean, I am trained in homeopathy, but it's not something that I really focus on. But Helios is a really good homeopathic store that ships straight to your door, and they do online consultations as well. I was actually speaking to someone yesterday who's worked for them for like 8 years, and she does her own little thing on the side as well where she does online consultations too. So yeah, it's just about reaching out to people. You know, these people aren't going to find you, you need to go and find them. So just put it out there that you're looking for these people in local community groups, on your own social media, or even pop me a message and say, Hannah, can you connect me with someone in this area? Because we know a lot of people, like a lot of people.
Yeah. You find that because we network and we get to know a lot of businesses, we see them a lot. So people like you who are in the pits of like business, we meet more people that do holistic things, and so we can probably go, oh yeah, I know someone that can help you with that.
Yeah.
Just the same as we might recommend someone for beauty that'll do your hair, your nails, or whatever. We can also do the same for like your nervous system and your health and everything else in between. So yeah, definitely a good place to start, 100%.
Yeah.
What's like the best advice you can give for anyone in these situations? Is there like one tip that's screaming out at you that you want to say, or a message you want to get across?
Just to listen to your body. You know, like your body gives you so many messages. And there's signs all around you constantly. I find modern life is so busy. We're always so hectic, we're always rushing around and like doing what we need to do, ticking the next thing off of our to-do list. And sometimes all we need to do is just take a minute, slow down, and just take 5 minutes. You know, it doesn't have to be a whole day. You don't have to book a whole day out in your calendar to rest, but just to live in the moment each day for at least 5 minutes. Whether that's drinking a cup of tea in the garden, just without your phone, you know, not sitting there scrolling or listening to something in your headphones, just taking that moment to be there and just taking in your surroundings, listening to the birds singing. The birds are back, right? It's spring. I love it. Just that's the main thing that I have found that really helps me personally, is just 5 minutes a day at a bare minimum.
And it's so easy to do. People go, I don't have time. You do, you've got to make the time. I say this about business all the time, but you have, and this will help your business as well. Like I've had situations where I've sat with a client and they're stressing because they're overwhelmed, there's so much to do, and they can't make a decision on something. And so I've actually gone, go have a cup of tea. And they're like, that's not gonna, I'm like, it is gonna help because you're taking your mind off of it. Like, allow yourself to do that. And I say a cup of tea, you can replace that with anything else that you enjoy. But
we're British, it's a cup of tea.
It's just because I'm from Yorkshire and it's like, get a brew. A good brew sorts you out. But I think
Yorkshire tea is the one, like it is.
Oh
Yorkshire
my god,
tea.
it is. I don't drink tea much. I'm a coffee girl and I don't drink a lot of it because caffeine. But I definitely think just doing that, just having that moment, like that is a real anchored part of my day. And I'm a routine queen and I love routines. I do get bored of them though, but it is something for me that I anchor into my day, and I enjoy that moment. So there's so much more to say, and I'm aware of like time and how long we've been speaking, but I was going to lead into actually that we are going to have you back on here, aren't we, because there's so much more to say. And we're going to talk holistic wellbeing, nervous system regulation and spiritual healing, because they're all part of what you do and the stuff that you're going to be able to share on those. So it does mean what you need to do is you need to go follow, as a listener, Hannah Strange and me, Dani Louise Smith, and subscribe to this channel, because then you're going to get notified of when we do bring Hannah back. But where can they go find you, Hannah, if they want to learn more about the products you can offer, book in that consultation and see everything you're about and the foundation and everything? Where can they go connect with you?
So our website is strangeapothecary.co.uk. You can find everything on there. The foundation's all underneath the same website. I mostly hang out on Facebook as Hannah Strange, so come find me there. And also we have a free community group on Facebook too. It's a public space, everyone's welcome, and it is called the Strange Apothecary Foundation Wellbeing Hub. And there's so much that goes on in there all the time. Right now, for example, we are hosting the Sacred Showcase, which is an online event where we have lots of different holistic based businesses, small businesses, come and showcase their products and what they do. And we do that once a month. So it's just a really beautiful space to hang out and know that you are supporting small businesses and also getting like top quality product too, or services. We have both in there, product and services. So yeah.
Amazing, that sounds brilliant and easy to find you as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. Can't wait to have you back again. You'll see Hannah's face dotted about if you're a follower of mine, because the content is going to be going out and talking about this and all the message. And of course, if you come into Innovation Celebration, you'll get to meet Hannah in person. Likely with Jess, your partner in crime, I think.
Yeah, Jeff and Dean will be there, so you'll get to see the muscle behind the business that does all the heavy lifting, and you'll get to see the little admin fairy that does all the boring stuff in the background, which she really enjoys, the weirdo. But
I enjoy it too. I call myself a geek. I am a weirdo too. Like,
she absolutely loves it. I'm pretty sure it's the autistic side of her that's just like loves the structure, you know.
Yeah.
As I'm the airy fairy ADHD, like let's do this is fun kind of one in the business.
I'm not diagnosed autistic, but last year I attended the big festoon and I suffered with really bad like overstimulation and overwhelm, and it lasted for ages. Oh, it was horrendous. I was burning out, going through like burnout at the same time, so the two things together. But since then, like one of my friends was like, maybe you're autistic too, and I'm like, for God's sake, I've only just been diagnosed with, oh no, I weren't diagnosed with ADHD then, I am now. And she said it to me a few times since, and I think it's got to make sense for how organised I am, because I've not met someone else with ADHD that is as organised as I am, but also can't cope with it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of crossovers between the two, so it's quite hard to distinguish which one it is. I'm not organised, not in the slightest. Jess is very, very organised, very structured, very things have to be a certain way, you know. So we work really, really well together because I bring the chaos and she organises it for me. So it's great.
I think this is why I like working with the people that I work with, because my life is chaotic, but I stopped seeing it as busy being bad and the chaos being something I don't like. And it was a leadership coach I work with, and she's like, be honest, could you cope if it was not chaotic? I was like, no, I actually couldn't, because I would get bored. The ADHD part of me would get bored, so I need the chaos so that I can organise it. So it makes sense that the people I help are people that also have disabilities, are people that are neurodivergent or have responsibilities that the everyday Joe doesn't deal with, because I like to have a challenge. And it is a challenge. The clients I work with are challenging, but I love it because I'm a fixer, I'm a problem solver, and I get to use myself, like my personality and strengths. And that's what you do and what you do as well, isn't it, with all your knowledge, your experience, your lived experience too, and just all of it that you package together. I feel like I've gone off on a tangent again, but always needed to be said and shared. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to have you back and to dive into all the things that nervous system regulation and spirituality and what we can do there. And I forgot what the other thing was. Holistic wellbeing, just as overall, So I'm really excited for that. And we'll see you again next time to chat.
Thank you. Thank you so much.